You know, there are many few shows that are able to do the dry, realistic formula, especially in cartoon form, and actually last as long as King of the Hill did. I mean, shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy and even Futurama are really great shows and have a realistic and serious tone to them, but still with a lot of cartoony elements and more fun, wild, fantastical situations. But King of the Hill wasn't like that. King of the Hill was far and foremost realistic from the way it was drawn, the way the characters acted, and from the everyday situations they get caught into. Everything that happened in the King of the Hill was something that would actually for real happen to a small, simple southern family in Arlen, Texas. And today I wanted to talk about what it is that made King of the Hill as special as it was. Why was it such a great show? And with the new reboot coming out soon of season 14, or as I should say in this case, the new sequel coming out, I think now is as good a time as any to talk about why King of the Hill is so special.
The big match is tomorrow. I don't know if I could get into game shape by then.
You can handle this, Bobby, and I'll help you.
When creator of Beavis and Butthead long ago, Mike Judge, was asked to create a show for Fox in the same vein as their big hits like The Simpsons or Family Guy, he had very strict rules about it. He said, alright, but only if I could do it my way, and that is it. They gave him a few notes like adding a baby and adding the daughter and stuff like that, but he refuted each one. If he was going to do the show, it had to be his way and in a way he could connect to it. So, being born and raised in Texas himself, he wanted the show to be a reflection or a look back on his own childhood and his culture and what he grew up in, serious and humble show about his own upbringings in Texas. So, he made King of the Hill. Some people have argued that this is like grabbing the two elderly retired couples from Beavis and Butthead and giving them their own show, which, by the way, it might be. No confirmation on that. But he ended up making the show anyways, and he ended up creating King of the Hill, with a Simpsons writer slapped onto it, or else Fox wouldn't let it be made, Greg Daniels, as co-creator. They ended up creating a brand new, different experience. Unlike The Simpsons and Family Guy, King of the Hill is done in a very strict, serious tone. It's about a very uptight and simple person, Hank Hill, just trying to raise his son Bobby in the old-fashioned ways that he was raised, with the learning how to build things and the grunt work and the being proud of your own honor and dignity. Trying to be very old-fashioned, trying to teach his son the same ways, as every day he has to deal with the everyday headaches of the world changing around him. New stuff like social media, pop culture coming out, and even Bobby being interested in all the new crazy things such as comedy and brand new movies coming out instead of his own actual integrity and old-fashioned ways of life that the old usual husband-wife system goes by. The show is a big turn on that, about grabbing an old grizzled character from back then and trying to have him accept some change here and there, all in order to show his child in the end that he loves him so much. Hank will adapt or try to understand here and there where he can, just because of how much he loves his son Bobby, even though he won't show it, being old-fashioned. The show also had great side characters like Dale, a wild and crazy conspirator who believes in everything he reads and hears and is built like he's a big survivor that must get ready for the apocalypse. Boomhauer, who's just a chill dude who we find out more about later on close to the finale. And Bill, a person that even one episode explained from all the abuse he witnessed his entire life, all the way from his dad, then his wife, and the coach in school and the military. He is now basically a punching bag that's desperate for any sort of attention, where usually Hank, being the good person he is always there all the time to make sure he's okay. We have a nice humble system here. The show doesn't go wild or crazy or do stuff that makes no sense. Every single topic is something simple that we can relate to, and most of the fun of the show comes from having to grab a character like Hank and having to have him deal with these random crazy situations, and how a person like him would deal with something so different and so out of field for him. He is the walking embodiment of a fish out of water story type, and it is funny every step of the way.
Bobby, I don't think you should quit.
What? But you said this pop culture stuff was stupid.
Well, it is, but you made a commitment to your team and you should honor it.
But the stress, Dad. What about the stress?
Well, you might not believe this, Bobby, but I get stressed all the time.
You?
Yep, but I don't give up. I face my problems.
To me, what makes King of the Hill so special of a show, and how good of a show as it is, even on recent rewatches. I recently spent this past year just binging through the show over and over, getting ready for the new season, and being interested in why I loved the show so much back then when it was on TV. And one thing that I think, after watching these episodes, that makes King of the Hill as good of a show as it is and so special, is that in each of these episodes, no matter what, Hank always sticks to his guns. He always sticks to his values, he always sticks to his morals, and he never budges. Whenever there's a problem going on, he still sticks to what he knows and who he is. There are many episodes where a character will come in just being a prick, trying to change who he is, or mock him, or kick him down for how he treats Bobby, and he doesn't have it. Like he says himself,
I'm gonna kick your ass.
And you know what? He would. Because to him it means that much. In many episodes, for example, like the episode when Bobby becomes a panhandler on the street, following after these cool kids to make money for new pants that he wants after finding work annoying, Hank has beautiful moments in this, like the one moment when he genuinely almost tears up when he sees his son starting to understand the value of $1 and how it feels earning it. And then in the end, where after Bobby finally learns and understands and starts to work again, and these kids try to kick down Bobby because Bobby is showing them what true work means, Hank has no qualms about it. Throughout thick and thin, he is always there when his kids need him or anything. Hank is a great character. No matter what happens or who says what, he'll still stick by his morals. Yeah, there'll be moments he'll understand, like in the episode Straight as an Arrow, when the father explains why he's so protective of his kids. Even he himself will admit, okay, that actually makes sense, but he still will go at him for attacking his son for the way he raises him. Hank, no matter what, sticks to his guns, and he never looks both ways about it. He will understand, but he'll still stick to what he knows. There are even several episodes where they show you that what he says is true. For example, in the episode Husky Bobby, about Bobby being a model, and Hank warned him that he would get bullied and attacked for it, Hank ended up being right at the end of the episode, saving him. Where Bobby becomes a salesman during the grill extravaganza event at his work, just because he wants his son to be proud of him, sticks to his guns in the end about working efficiently and selling a grill on its actual values. And the episode ends rewarding that, showing that he was right. It turns out that was the real way you sell something. Hank is a great character, a diamond in the rough, where he will always stick to what he does and usually is right about it. There are several more examples about him doing this, and if you guys want another video of me covering those things, let me know. I wouldn't mind covering a few episodes where he stuck to his guns and ended up being right. Maybe top 7 episodes where Hank was completely right? That could be one in the future if you guys are interested. But to me, that's what it is. Even on the episodes when Bill is being whiny and causing problems as usual, Hank still sticks by Bill and still kicks him around if he needs to straighten him out and make sure that he's okay. There are more moments on it, but I think this is the cusp of the show that made it as good as it is. Hank is a very strong, respectable character and will always stick by his guns and do what's best for his family. And I think this is what makes King of the Hill so special. Now, yes, Season 14 is coming out soon. So I thought we could end today's video by doing a brief discussion on my thoughts about it. Yes, I think the theme song is fine, but a bit weird. I don't know why he randomly sold his house just to come back to it again, but maybe in the show they'll explain why. And if I have to say my thoughts about it, I am not happy at all with the behind-the-scenes production behind it. No, I'm not happy at all that Dale, sadly, who passed away, Johnny Hardwick passing away sadly, he did record some of the episodes and he did pass away while working on it, but they're just going to replace him. You know, I mean, at that point, just kill off the character or just don't do it at all. And the Khan situation. Yes, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit. I don't think anyone at all back then cared that the guy who voiced Khan was a natural Asian person. No one cared then, I doubt they care now. So the fact that you're just replacing him with a natural Asian person due to some sort of random rights movement agenda, I don't care. Just have the original Khan be Khan. I mean, if we could have Phil Lamar voice Samurai Jack, an Asian person, then I don't see why we can't have this. It makes no sense, and all it does is prove that this is no more than a game of favoritism. So that should be changed, and more tragedy keeps striking throughout this production. Just a few days ago, as of recording this, the voice actor John Redcorn was sadly killed in a gun shootout in Texas, and so many things are crashing and burning with this production, and everything I see are no more than bad omens. No, if I'm honest, I am excited that Mike Judge chose to do it straightforward, and Mike Judge said himself that since the show is realistic, unlike the other shows, it should show that, and the times and years that have passed since the show ended should be reflected when it comes back. He wanted the show to actually age with time, and the characters are older on the comeback, doing a sequel, not a reboot or anything else, which I appreciate. I actually am interested to see a sequel version of King of the Hill and how that would look like, but if I'm being honest, with everything that's happened, I don't think it should go forward. With Dale passing away, it should have stopped there. And now omens keep appearing left and right, all bad, showing why the show should not come back at all. And you know what, in my opinion, what we had was fine. The two finales, Luann's Lucky's wedding suit and To Sirloin with Love, are already fine enough, and you know what, maybe it's best leaving the future to our own interpretation. But who knows, maybe I'm totally wrong, and maybe it will end up being great. I did watch the leaked storyboards, and from what I'm seeing from the storyboards, I am interested. I just don't approve of the backstage work on the show. But it might be good. I mean, maybe it'll still be the original King of the Hill. Maybe it'll still be Hank living to his original morals. Maybe it'll still be the old grit of Texas showing how strong it is. I mean, it's not like Mike Judge has made anything in the past that should make me worried, right? Oh, yeah, that. Well, maybe it won't be that bad. Anyways, like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts of the reboot coming out, or of your own thoughts of the show, and if you agree, I'd love to read your thoughts. And also, please let me know, would you like me to do a top 7 best episodes of King of the Hill episode of Jetpack Retro? Would you like me to do a top 7 worst episodes of King of the Hill of all time video? Those are 2 videos I actually would not mind at all doing and seem like fun to make. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.